So, I see people on the internet trying to justify the shooting of Nicole Good. Many of them are citing that whether or not it was a good shooting is determined by whether or not he felt scared for his life. I would actually argue that he likely was scared for his life. However, that's a secondary consideration. The primary concern that should be used to determine whether or not this officer gets qualified immunity is, would a reasonable officer have his gun drawn while standing in front of a running vehicle driven by someone who disagrees with what you're doing there while wearing a mask? So let's frame this a little differently. If I'm on my property shooting a gun and an officer steps in front of my gun, is he then justified for using lethal force on me? Standing in front of the barrel of a loaded gun is probably pretty scary. I've never tried it, but I'll bet it is. So the officer would, of course, be scared in that situation, but it's a situation they voluntarily put themselves in, similar to this idiot stepping in front of a running vehicle while being masked and having his gun drawn. So, for this particular shooting, because no reasonable officer, which is the measure of qualified immunity, because no reasonable officer would think it's smart to have a gun drawn while wearing a mask and standing in front of a running vehicle driven by opposition who is now likely terrified by the guns and masked men. So I don't know what the charges should be, but there should definitely be charges and qualified immunity should be revoked. This officer should be judged by a jury of regular citizens, not a jury of fellow officers. Officer or civilian, nobody should be allowed to put themselves in a stupid, dangerous position and then murder someone because they are scared. Being an idiot is not a defensible position for murder. America, stay free.